Mando, man, what's up? How's things going?
What's good, my brother? Just chilling, man. Just got back from practice, enjoying these last couple weeks of camp, getting skinny. You know how it goes.
Yeah, man, let's kind of start from the beginning. So how did this fight come about? Because this literally is just brand new. It just happened like about a few days ago. So like how did the fight happen? And were you getting ready for another fight before this came about?
Yeah, I was actually getting ready to fight for Baroka in Vegas. The fight would have took place today. So originally, the plan was getting ready to fight today against Andre Ewell, which would have been one of my toughest opponents to date. It would have been a dope fight, 10-fight UFC vet. It would have been cool, but this call came Friday. It was potential since like Wednesday last week, and it became official on Saturday. And by then it wasn't even in my mind anymore, just because I wasn't thinking. I said yes. I wasn't thinking anything was gonna come from it, and I was like, man, let go, let God, let God take care of it. If it's meant to be, it'll be meant to be. It'll happen. And sure enough, that's how it went. I got the call on Saturday or Friday night or Saturday. And then obviously I stopped train like peaking, stopped like I canceled my heavy sparring session that night and went a little bit lighter just to stretch my camp out a couple extra weeks. So really wasn't much of a short notice for me. If anything, if it's an extended notice.
Yeah, does that actually help you in the long run? Now it's giving you a couple, like about 2, 3 more weeks, to kind of get ready, acclimated for, especially for a brand new opponent. It's not Andre Ewell. Andre Ewell is kind of like an anomaly, right? He fights
Yeah.
completely different than a lot of other people.
Yeah, yeah, but the good thing is I'm luckily I for whatever reason my career's been in a funny place where my last like six opponents in a row have all been southpaws. I don't know how, I don't know why, and it works out because this guy's a southpaw too, and he's tough, he's good, but there's actually quite a few similarities between him and Andre, other than obviously Andre's coming to box and this dude's coming to kick. So that's the biggest difference. But yeah, it definitely helps when I'm already in camp, I'm already peaking, but it does make things a little complicated because as a fighter, as a high level athlete, you have to be disciplined enough to take the training back a couple notches, especially when something like this pops up where you have to extend your camp a couple extra weeks. You can't be tip top shape and prime time for very long. So you have to play everything accordingly, and you have to time everything perfect so that you peak at the perfect time. And I was damn near peaking when the call came. So I had to chill a little bit, knock it back a little bit, put a little bit of weight back on, just enough. And I hate sitting down. If anybody knows me, they know I'm not one to sit down. So it's been kind of annoying having to train a little less. But we picked it back up this week, and everything's been good.
Yeah, I mean, and you're coming in with some momentum. You got back-to-back wins.
Yeah.
How does it feel to come into this with riding some momentum and looking forward to extend that winning streak to three in a row, especially on such a big stage with the PFL?
Um, it feels great, man. But honestly, I try not to make any fight bigger than the other. If anything, my last fight was the one that I had the most battles, like the most like trials with when it came to not making it more than it had to be, because I was out there literally by myself. Literally, no, if Tony Laramie wouldn't have been gracious enough to stay an extra week to hang out with me, I would have been completely alone in a place where I don't speak the language with nobody with me. Like I had literally no one there, and I was fighting a hometown guy, one of their toughest prospects. So that was a true. But I found like the beauty in having my back completely against the wall. I'm like, dude, this is gonna be the craziest story to tell one day. And sure enough, I went out there and I did it. So cool. I'm glad. But yeah, it's nice. Obviously, I train to win, so it's nice when the fruits of my labor pay off. But enough of that. It's all about this one now. So this one's the most important yet. This one is the one I gotta really go out there and perform on, because at the end of the day, we're talking about big bucks now. So I gotta go out there. I gotta stack these wins together, and I gotta get to where I need to be.
How do you like the new format for the PFL tournament? Do you like that it's now single elimination? You don't have to fights as often. I mean, you're gonna have to fight multiple times this year if
Yeah.
you win and keep winning. But I mean, do you like that format a lot better than what they had previously?
I honestly I love this format. For me, like I tell people all the time, bro, you could look at any interview that I've ever done with anybody. I would fight every weekend if I could. Every weekend. I don't care. Like it's you don't gotta pay me to fight. Like you gotta pay me to make weight. That's the problem. If I could meet another 135er at 160 every weekend, I'd fight every fucking weekend. It does not matter to me. So I'm all about this format. I love this format. First round, April 11th, semifinals, last 2 weeks of June, finals, middle of August. I'm all about that. Like that's the perfect situation for me. And also, I've spent my entire career being like, oh, I can't make plans for this because I'm gonna have this. I might have this. I might have this. You know, you can never really plan anything ahead. And now everything's laid out in front of me. All I got to do is go out there, take care of business, God willing, win every each of these fights and move on to the next and come home with a big old bag at the end of it. And my year's done by middle of August. So I'm super excited. This is great. Like it feels good knowing like I'm in a place where I'll be treated well, compensated well, appreciated. It feels good to finally be able to call this a true career, like I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna be able to provide, like luckily for me it's a little easier for me than most guys just because I'm also like, I'm a barber and a freelance artist and I've been able to like make a living that way. But like my respects to people who don't have that, who don't have something else they can fall back on because all they have is fighting. And like fighting you doesn't pay you a thing. Fighting does not love you back, you know what I'm saying? So like you can't put the money on this. Like this is like for the love, and the money's just extra and the money's great. So I'm really excited about that part now.
Yeah, I mean, you're finally getting to where you kind of worked your ass off to be. I mean, now you're a 13 fight veteran. This will be your 14th fight. You're on the big stage now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's all eyes are on you. There's big money to be made.
Yeah.
You just need just like three big wins, and that's it. And then you
Yeah.
got that bag, you know.
Hell yeah.
And what do you think about the bantamweight division as a whole for this PFL tournament? Do you see any guys you're kind of looking out for towards the later part of this tournament, or how is it looking to you in your eyes?
Ever since the recent fallouts with the visa issues, it shook things up a little bit. Obviously, there's three new guys in, three new faces that people weren't expecting to see in there before. Obviously, you got the top guns fighting each other in the first round. In my opinion, two of the like the biggest, most decorated vets. I mean, it's not an opinion, it's facts. The two
Yeah.
most decorated guys in the division are fighting each other round one. Are they a little older? Yes, but they are still very capable, very good. So a lot of eyeballs will obviously be on that one because that I'm guessing is one of the favorites to make it to the finals. But you got a lot of late additions. You got me, you got my opponent, you got Justin Wetzel, who's another tough prospect. So the like the pool is very tough. The guys are good, but one thing I look at is like they're good, but they're beatable. I can beat all these guys. I truly like my chances against any of these guys, and I'm confident. I feel good, and I'm excited to go out there and compete against the best. It's gonna be cool. You got another guy and Jake Hadley, a guy that I'd be very interested in fighting as well. Me and Justin Wetzel have tried to fight each other multiple times, and it just never worked out. These things like it couldn't have been written out any better. This is a dope bracket, semifinals most likely, God willing, are in my hometown. So, like, getting to fight in Chicago would also be awesome. But obviously, I'm definitely not looking past Francesco. Francesco's tough, but fighting in Chicago would be a dream come true. And then obviously, getting that half a million would be a damn near a dream come true as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be very exciting. But when it comes to like getting ready for this, when are you kind of flying out to Orlando? Are you getting any work in here locally in Orlando? How's that going?
I'm heading out Sunday the week before. One of my teammates, Charles Johnson, actually just moved down to Orlando, so I definitely got to tap in with him. Just hop on his routine for that week. I'm one of those guys that like I don't change anything up on fight week. Obviously, I don't get hit, but I still do a lot of high intensity stuff. I still like going full workouts. I go to the regular practices. I'm not one of those guys that shows up late and just hits mitts in the corner with the hoodie on and stuff. Nah, that ain't me, bro. Like I get in the practice, I do the work, and it just makes me feel better. I feel like it's free weight coming off. It's weight that I didn't have to like. I wait. It's weight I lose that I didn't. It didn't cost me anything. You know, that's free to me because I'm having fun. I practice like it's just practice, so it's nice. Um, just go out there a little week early, do that, and then God willing, I go get this W and then celebrate with my family. I got a lot of people
Yeah.
coming out. It's damn near gonna be a home fight for me.
Damn, that's great, man. That's great to hear. Yeah, I mean, Charles is out here Fusion in Excel. So
Yep.
since last time I saw, so that's gonna be good. You get a ton of great work in there with all those guys. I mean, those guys are killers of Fusion
Yeah.
Excel. Got lot of talent, and yeah, it's right here, close to me. Hopefully, I'll be out there, and
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll be looking forward to it. But yeah, switching gears a little bit, we have Ultimate Fighters coming up. You know, the new season in a
Yep.
few months, I believe May maybe, or
Yep.
a little bit earlier. Wanted to get your thoughts on the crop of new fighters that are on this show. Have you heard of any, and who are you kind of looking forward to the most when you kind of check it out?
Obviously, one of my good friends is Royber Echeverria. So, he was my front runner to begin with, and he was on a crazy hot streak before he made it on the show. So, obviously, I was very, very impressed and very excited to see him on there because I just know how good he is, how tough he is, how exciting he is, and how good of an addition he'd be to the UFC. So, I think that's definitely my front runner. Obviously, you got Imanol Rodriguez, who's also a really tough prospect out of Mexico. He's tough as hell, big as shit, like huge for the weight class. So he's a shit like he's a brick house, dude. So I'm excited to see how he did. Um, I know Sanchez Hulk Sanchez was in on the 55 bracket, so I want to see how he did as well. You know, I'm always rooting for the Mexican homies. You know, I'm good friends with a lot of these guys. I train with a lot of these guys, so I actually cornered him before once too. So you know, I got a soft spot for him. But I'm excited for the season, man. Two good coaches, OGs, tough training styles. You couldn't have ended up on a shitty team. You know, you couldn't have ended up in a bad place. Either way, both teams probably got phenomenal training, phenomenal guidance, great teams, great coaches, great atmospheres. It makes for a good season. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more talented season when it comes to prospects, right? I mean,
Oh
you're
yeah.
talking a great crop of international fighters and some good fighters here from the states as well. During your time on the show, I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on how it was, dealing with Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor, and kind of how that atmosphere was when you were out there training and getting things done.
It was fun, man. It's one of the best experiences of my entire life. Something I can really always look back on forever. You know, I'm super grateful for my time on the show. I had a great time meeting all the guys, breaking bread with everybody, competing at a high level. You know, and getting to pick a lot of brains, man. There's a lot of tough people in the house and tough people on the coaching staff. So getting to learn from everybody was a huge blessing for me, and I learned a lot of lessons that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. So I'm excited.
What did you think about? I don't know if you heard, but what did you think about Conor McGregor's his thoughts on possibly never fighting again ever since he talked about potentially running as for president over in Ireland. He's like it might be his last days. He might never suit up again. What do you think about that?
I've never blamed him once from the beginning. I don't think like there's no reason for it, you know? If anything, like I feel for him, but I feel for him and from a different reason. Like obviously he's a fighter through and through, you know? You don't reach that pinnacle of success, that level of success without being a true fighter. You've seen it. You've seen him when he was fired up. You've seen him before the money. Like he's a fighter. In his heart and soul, he's a fighter, but things changed. You got to play the hand you're dealt, and he got dealt a pretty damn good hand when it comes to everything he's built for himself now. But you know, money changes things. There's no reason to be out there risking it anymore. You know, you're talking about a different kind of money. You're talking about your kids having money. You're talking about a whole different situation. Like I never really expected him to fight again. Did I hope he did? Yes, because I knew he wanted to. But that's the thing. Like it if it wasn't in the cards, it wasn't in the cards. If people don't have the money to pay you, they're gonna find a way to make sure you don't fight. You know, like on the second McGregor show, like that's typical. That's pretty much what happened. That's all they did is highlighted how hard it was for him to get an opponent, how hard it was for him to get matched up, and I wasn't expecting him to fight again to begin with. So to me, it's not much. I just wish him the best. I know he has a good heart, good dude. Um, Crazy as hell, but good ass dude. Um, and yeah, I mean, good friend. I wish him the best, regardless of whatever his next endeavor is.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because everybody's like, "Oh, we want to see him back." I mean, when he was in there, he's super exciting. Win or lose, he's always going to put on a show. Especially before the antics before the fight, the antics after the fight, and during the fight, he's always going to put on an exciting performance, and that's what we're kind of going to miss. But like you said, you can't really take anything away from him. Fighting has given him all these opportunities outside the cage, and now he's being able to take advantage of it, and obviously for other ventures like trying to be the president of Ireland, which is kind of crazy as talking about it.
Yeah, it's insane talking about it, but this dude is larger than life. Like you don't get to that level without taking big chances and making big moves that nobody else makes. Like this dude truly believes he can do anything. So like, why not? You know, one thing
Right.
people can say whatever the fuck they want about McGregor. Nobody's ever said that he don't love his country and that he don't put his country first. Like, oh, 100%. That's all he does. So in that sense alone, when we're talking about from a patriotism standpoint, I mean, he's a good fit. I mean, would his policies be that way? I don't know. Would his cabinet be that way? I don't know. But I do know that he cares about his country, and I do know he loves his country, and I do know he wants to see it thrive. So, I mean, something to consider.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how it plays out. I wanted to get your thoughts on one of your training partners, Joaquin Buckley. I mean,
Yeah,
he's been absolutely fucking tearing it up ever since dropping down 170 pounds.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I want to get your thoughts on how he's been doing, and why do you think the sudden change in weight kind of was his motion to stardom? Really, I mean, everybody knew who he was
yeah.
beforehand. But like once he was able to make that 170-pound move, I mean, stars aligned. Honestly,
Oh, absolutely. He was a 170 all along. Like the problem is that before he had all the resources he had now with the UFC, like one, he wasn't getting fights, and two, it was hard for him to make the weight. So those two things added together forced him to move up to 85. And obviously, he had success up there, but he was fighting humongous dudes. So obviously now it's a little different. Now he goes in there and he fights a guy that's similar size to him, and he's a fucking unit. He's a huge, huge dude. Him making 170 is great for him. It's great for his career, and he's a real fucking problem. Where shit gets sticky though is I split my camps with Valley Flow striking in Chicago, and Bilal is there. So he's one of my teammates as well. He's a really good influence on me and a really good role model for me. So it's really tough seeing like the beef going on. It's not even beef right now, but it's tough picturing a potential matchup between those two. It's tough picturing the tension between those two. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. I'm just playing my position. I'm staying off in the sideline and just watching it from a distance.
what do you think his next move should be? Do you think it should be Kamaru Usman, or do you think it should be Sean Brady? Where would you go if you were him?
Sean Brady's hotter right now. I feel like I feel like beating Kamaru is gonna get wrote off as beating an old guy now.
Yeah,
But I think Sean Brady's hot, man. You got to go for Sean Brady. Got to go for Sean Brady. He should be number one right now. If he's not,
yeah,
I'd be surprised. Yeah,
yeah. He
that's the fight. That's the fight. Those are
yeah.
the two surging guys. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to make anything else. That's it. That's the fight.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, if Shopka is too injured to fight, have those two square off and see who's the number one contender. And
Yeah,
then even if Shopka is next in line, have those two square off. So they're waiting in the wings once Shopka and whoever wins between Bilal and JDM,
yeah,
it goes from there. It kind of you have a plan, it's the way to do it. But Kamara wants to stick his nose in there somewhere, and he wants
yeah,
to try to get his way back into the title picture. So it kind of
yeah,
muddies things up a little bit. And they're going to
yeah.
give him the benefit of the doubt because he was the champion for so long. They're going to let him kind of choose
Absolutely.
who he wants, but kind of see where it goes. I'm looking forward to it. I think 170 right now is so exciting because
Yeah,
there's so many great matchups that could be made. Really.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, they owe it to these new guys bringing new life in there. I'm really excited about like the even new additions. Like people, I think there's going to be a passing of the torch in the coming weeks with Michael Morales and Gilbert Burns. I think that one is going to change things up because I've seen Michael Morales firsthand, and that dude is tough and he is enormous. So that's another guy that's going to be young blood in the top 10. So things are going to start getting shaken up here soon. It's real interesting. There's a lot of momentum. It's really alive right now. It's cool to see.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I think that's a division that's kind of on the up and up, where it's kind of been stagnant for all these years. Yeah,
Yeah.
GSP was a long champion. Kamara was a long champion, but now it's literally kind of up in
Are you
arms
gonna
of.
skip over Tyron Woodley like that? Tyron Woodley
No, I
was a
mean,
long champion.
yeah,
Hey, you
it's
can't
not.
skip my man T Wood, man.
Yeah, man, I don't know why I did, but yeah, I guess because I don't know, man. I mean, he was a long time champion too. I don't know
Long
why I
time
kind of skipped
champion.
his a long
Hell
time. So
yeah.
that's three champions. You know what I mean? That's why nobody really thought of. Everybody's thinking, oh, lightweight, bantamweight, featherweight are the cream of the crop,
Yeah.
divisions. But now you look at welterweight, everybody is just anybody can win. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just all about matchups, all about momentum. And I think 170 is just, I think one of the new divisions that everybody needs to kind of watch out for.
For sure. Absolutely.
And I want to get your thoughts on UFC Mexico City this weekend. I mean, what do you think about, the, Mexican natives that are on the card? I want to know who you kind of are looking forward to seeing this weekend. And what do you think of the main event?
Honestly, dude, I think there's a lot of layups in there, bro. I really do. With all due respect, I think Raul got a pretty solid layup. I think I think they tried to give Lazy Boy a layup, but I don't think it's gonna play out in his favor. Um the only one that I think got a real tough fight, and it's gonna be an interesting one, is Loco Torres against why am I blanking on his name? Jesus
Drew
Christ.
Dober.
Drew
Drew
Dober,
Dober.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough fight. I mean, Drew Dober's a tall glass of water for anybody, man. So who knows how that one goes? And I'm always riding with my boy Brandon. Brandon's got that in the bag for sure. They really just fed Urseg to the woods, like to the wolves
Really?
immediately. It's like, damn, dude. I mean, he's good, but shit, dude, come on. So like
Bro,
that's
I
his
mean, that's
fuck,
crazy.
yeah, literally. But it is what it
I
is,
feel
man. That's the game. Like I tell people all the time, bro. This game don't love none of us back, bro. So it does not matter. Like you're
Yeah, I
gonna get
mean,
thrown in, and you're gonna see where you're at, no matter what.
and then mind you, he has to go all the way from Australia all the way to Mexico and fight in elevation in front of in the hotel, home
What
country
people don't,
of
bro,
his
what
opponents.
people don't realize is it's not just elevation. Mexico City has some of the worst air quality in the entire world. Like it's horrible, bro. Like it's horrible. So if you search anybody watching this interview, search it up and just be astonished with me because it's horrible. Oh my
Oh
god.
man, I didn't even take that into consideration because one, I've never been there, and two, like,
Yeah.
damn right, like pollution plus the fucking elevation.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. It's not like being in Colorado, that's for sure. It's not like being in the like anywhere else. Like everywhere else is super clean. So like that's the
Right.
difference. But yeah, also shouts out to my boy Austin Hubbard, one of my teammates. Got a lot of love for him. Not only teammate, also Tough 31 cast member.
Yep.
He's fighting this weekend. He has a good fight against Markel Maderos. So shout out to my boy. Gonna go out there and get this win.
I think this is a great fight card, UFC Mexico City. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to your fight, man. You just got a couple weeks away, April 11th, on tap
Yeah.
PFL World Tournament. It's gonna be good. But before I let you go, I want to know if you have a message out there for any of your fans and everybody that kind of supports you, that are eagerly awaiting for you to return to the cage and get this big dub on April 11th.
Hell yeah. First shouts out to you, bro. Thank you for taking the time. Shout out to everybody who supports me, everybody who rides with me. Shout out to my teams, Murcielago MMA, Valley Flow Striking, all my teammates, all my sponsors, everybody who makes this all possible, man. I can't wait to go out there and like fight with everybody in my heart, everybody with me. So I'm excited to go out there and perform and make everybody proud.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and good luck. And we definitely speak soon.
Hell yeah. Thanks, big dog. I'll see you soon, bro.
All right.